Now, have we all made it over? I hope. Let's
Doesn't look like
see.
it yet.
We're working on it. So, what I will do is I'm going to email this to all of our presenters. If I can do that without screwing anything up. And whee! The joys of
What is the group name that we normally share to?
Circle Sanctuary Community. And I think, Judith, you're an admin, right? No? Okay.
Yeah, no, just a couple of adjunct pages, but not the main page.
Can somebody make me an
Okay,
admin of
well,
that?
we're probably going to change that. Let's see. Is Chris here? Has the gnome appeared?
Because I'm starting to see some hopeful signs. I'm recording right now just because. Actually, I'll just pause it for the moment.
Good evening and welcome to Circle Sanctuary's Witch Wands Full Moon Circle. It is so good to have you all here, and I'm so glad that everyone is joining us here in Zoom. And this is a time release Full Moon Circle. We've had some opportunities to problem solve with the Zoom Facebook interface. So all of you who watch us later on the Circle Sanctuary YouTube channel, we are recording this. Hopefully this all will work well for you. We are joining together as we do every month to celebrate the full moon, and every month we have a different focus. Now, some people celebrate the full moon and use an old folklore name. Well, we're inspired by that tradition, but for the last 7 years or more, we've created our own full moon circle names, depending on what the focus is. So it is so good to have you all here. And we have a special treat, one of Circle Sanctuary's longtime and famous recording artist, Celia, is going to be sharing a song here with us during this full moon circle. And if you don't know her music, be sure to check her out, Celia online, and she has much music to share and is on Patreon too. And I am so glad we all are here together for this. I'd like to turn it over to Nikki, who's been part of our full moon circle back in the years when we gathered in person, and has made the switch here as we've taken our full moon circles online. Welcome, Nikki. What announcements do you have for us?
Hi, everybody. My name's Nikki, and welcome to the Witch Wands Full Moon Circle. So my announcements for tonight for everyone. So registration for Circle Sanctuary's online Samhain is now open. It'll be taking place Friday, October 30th, starting at 7 p.m. and continue through Saturday, October 31st. There's also going to be a silent auction featuring many pagan vendors running from October 25th to October 31st with all proceeds going to support Circle Sanctuary. So definitely check that out. Also coming up in October is the Circle Sanctuary annual meeting, which will be occurring online Saturday, October 24th. More details will be sent to Circle Sanctuary members later this month on that. Also, be sure to check out the wide variety of CSNP podcasts coming out this month, coming from Selena and also other Circle Sanctuary members. So for more information on all of Circle's upcoming events, be sure to visit www.circlesanctuary.org. You can also find information on the website for our membership program, or also for shopping on the online resource shop, which are both great ways to help support Circle. Thanks to everybody for being here tonight. Blessed full moon.
Blessed full moon. Thank you, Nikki. So now I invite all of you to take a few moments and connect with the sacred, with Source, with the divine, with that essence or essences that you connect with according to your own spiritual path, religious orientation, and or philosophy. I'm going to play a singing bowl, and as I do so, I invite you to join in wherever you are and attune to this sound and to the divine as one and the divine as many. We honor the divine that's within us, that is around us. We honor the divine as great mother, great father, great spirit, as the elements, as ancient ones, divine ones. We call to you and honor you. Be with us, be in us, and guide our full moon tonight. So be it. Another one of our traditions with our full moon circle is the kindling of the moon fire. And I invite Richard to guide us in this.
Yes, every month we light a fire, but not being out at Circle Sanctuary, I light this beeswax candle. The idea that stored sunshine from sometime in a nice warm summer day is going to keep us warm. So mote it be.
So mote it be. And now we each have an opportunity, if we happen to have a candle with us, to kindle our own personal candles. And if you don't have a personal candle to kindle, I invite you to imagine that you're doing so as we light our candles and join together, celebrating our connection with each other and with the fullness of the moon as we hold our candles high and we see each other, we see the sacred light. Let the moon fire that's above us be the moon fire before us and within us. Many blessings. And now, at our Witch Wands full moon circle, I invite those of us who have wands to get our wand, or wands if you prefer to use more than one wand. We use our wands to call the powers of the sacred directions into our sacred circle. We honor the sacred north. We honor the sacred east. We honor the sacred south. We honor the sacred west. We honor the sacred above, the cosmos. We honor the sacred below, the land and the planet. We honor the sacred that's in the center of ourselves in this cyber circle. And we honor the sacred circle that is around us. And now we imagine that we are all joining hands. So if you can put your hands out, if you want to hold your wand too, that's fine. But as we put our hands out, we imagine we're forming a great circle here in cyberspace. The circle is around us. The circle is within us. The circle is around us. The circle is within us. The circle is around us. The circle is within us. So be it. We honor that sacred circle. And now it is time to call the moon. This full moon circle is a special full moon circle. Our October full moon circles every year, because we're in the Northern Hemisphere and October is the Samhain month. It's also a time to do some witch fun and witch education. And so we are at Samhain full moon time, and we're also at the harvest moon. And I invite Nikki to invoke the harvest moon here into our witch wands full moon circle.
So I'd like to start this off by reading a poem called The Harvest Moon by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. It's still one of the harvest seasons. Up in Samhain, I believe, is the last harvest festival, so I thought this was appropriate. It is the harvest moon. On gilded vanes and roofed villages, on woodland crests and their aerial neighborhoods of nests, deserted on the curtained window panes of rooms where children sleep, on country lanes and harvest fields, its mystic splendor rests. Gone are the birds that were our summer guests. With the last sheaves return the laboring wains. All things are symbols, the external shows of nature have their image in the mind, as flowers and fruits and falling of the leaves. The songbirds leave us at summer's close. Only the empty nests are left behind, and pipings of the quail among the sheaves.
And let us all chant 3 times, a simple chant. Attune to full moon, attune to full moon, attune to full moon. And we call to the moon and to the sea with some words shared by Bree.
I'm going to read a poem called Moon and Sea by Doreen Valente. Black horses of night from the edge of the sky shake their starry bridles. Moonrise is nigh. This is the white moon that shone on Babylon before the pagan years, were past and gone. The doves of Ishtar crooned to her of love. The insects of Egypt rose cloudily above. The year's slow caravan passes ceaselessly, for what strange things have been, stranger yet may be. Naught is there new, save what has been forgotten, and an antique soul may wait the unbegotten. White goddess moon, pearl of mystery, whom the worshiping tide follows from the sea. The waters of the soul have currents and tides, and an unknown sky where a white moon rides. The chalk white rocks of this forsaken shore yield starflower fossils of eons before. So those other waters on the shores of the mind yield moon, stars, and flowers after their kind.
Attune to full moon, attune to full moon, attune to full moon. And I invite Robin to guide us in some lunar attunement. And I think we'll have Robin unmute so we can hear her wonderful words.
Okay, this is called Traveling with the Moon. She was but a thin silver crescent, beckoning me in the darkness. Come, dear one, it is time. Set your intention for your desire. Make your vow. And so I did. Meet me each night. Tell me of your progress, of your challenges, of your doubts, she continued. My presence will be waxing. Connect to my power. Use it to make things happen. Use it to persevere. And so I did. And when she rose in her full brilliance, I honored her, Lady of the Night. I celebrated her power and my joy in my connection to her, which helped me to fulfill my vow. In the bright moonlight, I wanted to dance to the celestial music, in joy and thanksgiving, and so I did. But that was not the end of this journey. I was only halfway, and she guided me with questions. What do you no longer need? What have you encountered that is harmful to your progress? How will you let those things go? And she waned, and I reflected, and to figure out those answers. And so I did. As the dark moon, she invited me into the magic that dwells in rest, and I created a new prayer and vow for the new moon, when I would join her to share my intention, and later delight in my communion with the next full moon, a blue moon, and so I will.
Attune to full moon, attune to full moon, attune to full moon. And now we all mute ourselves as we take up our wands, and we have our opportunity to bless our wand or wands if we have several. And if you don't have a wand, you can use your arm and your hand. We actually have a wand built into our bodies. And so I invite Celia, whose music weaves magic in many ways, and she has a special Grandmother Moon song to share with us. And as she sings it, let us work with our wands and feel the power of the moon flowing into our wands with her voice and our magic.
Grandmother Moon, Grandmother Moon, Grandmother Moon, Grandmother Moon, Grandmother Moon, Grandmother Moon, shine down on me. Grandmother Moon, shine down on me. My heart is open to receive your loving light and legacy. Grandmother Moon, shine down on me. Grandmother Moon, shine down on me. My heart is open to receive the loving light and legacy. Grandmother Moon, shine down on me. I offer you my wounds and scars, my mangled memories to transform. You're right here with me, you are. We are made of steel and stars. I offer my mangled memories to transport. You're right here with me, here you are. We are made of steel and stars. Grandmother Moon, Grandmother Moon, my heart is open. Your loving light and legacy. Grandmother Moon, shine down on me. Grandmother Moon, shine down on me. My heart is open to receive your loving light and legacy. Grandmother Moon, shine down on me. I offer you my wounds and scars, my mangled memories to transform. You're right here with me, here you are. We are made of steel and stars. I offer you my wounds and scars, my mangled memories to transform. You're right here with me, here you are. We are made of steel and stars. Grandmother Moon, Grandmother Moon, my heart is open. Your loving light and legacy. Grandmother Moon, shine down on me. Grandmother Moon, shine down on me. Grandmother Moon, shine down on me.
So be it. And thank you, Celia, for your magic song and being part of our full moon circle once again. And keep an eye out for Celia out on the web because she is on Patreon, she's on Facebook, and all sorts of things, and has lots of music. celiaonline.bandcamp.com. So check her out because there's lots of good music coming from her. And I'm so glad we get to bless our wands with the full moon and the grandmother moon song. So we're now going into what I call Witch Wands Show and Tell. And I'm going to start out by sharing this wand with you. It is a quartz crystal wand, and I use this for a number of workings, and Samhain's coming up, and I do cemetery blessings at that time, as well as other times of the year, and I've used this as part of blessing gravestones and graves and honoring memories, but I also use it for healing. Now, one of the things that you might consider getting if you have a crystal wand, it's strong, but you want to keep it in good shape, is get a wand holder. And this one you can actually hook on your belt and have the wand at the ready. But I typically just keep it here because it keeps it from getting scratched. So there are many kinds of wands, and we have within the Circle Sanctuary community people that work with wands in different ways. And tonight we're going to have some of them share with you about a witch wand or wands that they have used. So I invite Meredith, who's not only part of our community, but a neighbor, to share with us some wand images and ways of working with them. Welcome, Meredith.
Hello, welcome. So my first wand, I just found twisted around a tree branch, and I thought it was just so perfect that I took it. I asked his permission, and it came home with me. And then I decorated it with some ribbons and some plastic flowers that were on a gift I received during the Magical Gift Exchange 2 years at Pagan Spirit Gathering. So this is a wand I like to just twirl when I'm meditating and thinking. And it's really a craft project that needs to be touched again, but it was just a fun wand, and I keep it on an altar. Another sacred wand I have is just an old stick, but it's a burnt stick that I found from the sacred fire at Pagan Spirit Gathering 2 years ago. And I used this old stick to gather some of the ashes from the sacred fire at the end of PSG. So these two things sit on my PSG altar, and it helps to remind me of the memories of community. And then a sacred wand, which is really a talking stick, but it works as a wand too. At Pagan Pride last fall, I met a woman named Sandy who does sacred readings, and her husband is a hunter, and they had all these beautiful smudge feathery wandy objects, and I asked her to make one specifically for me. Grouse is very much a sacred animal in my life. My father and I used to go grouse hunting together. I never shot one, but he did several times, and we harvested and feasted on the grouse. So he's gone now. He's now my ancestor. But this is a wand with a grouse on it. And then Sandy incorporated earth, air, fire, and water stones for me. And she made it from a very solid oak, because she said I was a very solid woman, strong like an oak. So this is a sacred talking stick and smudge stick. So I use it with smudge. I don't light smudge when my husband's home because he doesn't care for the smell. But it's a powerful wand when I want to share in circle with folks. And then my last wand is just a fun wand, and it creates bubbles. And I use this wand at the women's tent at Pagan Spirit Gathering. And I have so much fun with this wand. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Meredith. Wow, wonderful wands. Well, I have another witch wand, and she mentioned oak. I live in an oak forest, and this is an oak wand. And I take this with me on the road. It's very strong and can bounce around in luggage. Back before the pandemic, I traveled a lot, and now I'm out on the road. In terms of field roads and four-wheel drive vehicles. So I can take my oak wand with me. And another form of oak wand I made in our full moon coven. Oh, this must have been about 20 years ago before we had an open full moon circle. And this is an oak branch with some gold wrapped around it. So wands can take a variety of forms, and I now invite to do some more wand show and tell Larry, who's been connected with Circle Sanctuary for decades, going back into our early days of Pagan Spirit Gathering and events. Welcome, Larry.
I think we may have lost Larry. I actually just got a link from him, so let's come back to him. I'll see if I can send him the link to the Zoom.
So we will have an opportunity to learn about some more wands, and I get wands from a lot of different places. When I turned 50 years old, I was given this wand. And without the 50 on it, I've actually used it as part of youth activities and at Beltane, having some fun. And another one that makes sounds with a little bell is a Beltane wand. And for those of you who are joining us from the other hemisphere for this Witch Wands Full Moon Circle, it's a maypole, and I wish you a good upcoming Beltane as we are celebrating Samhain. And we're going to continue on with some show and tell, and I invite Laura, who, besides doing Circle Sanctuary radio ministry, is a tarot reader. So Laura, what kind of wand show and tell do you have for us?
Hello everybody, good evening. I want you to see me, so I'm going to take off my hat, take off the witchy hat and put on the tarot reader hat. And I believe that the most important tools are within us and within our body, or part of our body. And today I'm coming here to talk to you about the magician. And I know we are all into this technology situations, but I hope you can see it. And the focus on the card of the magician, he holds a 2 and 1. It's a little bit similar to this crystal that has 2 pointing ends. But the magnificent part of the magician is that he is not directing energy with the one that he's holding. He is actually collecting that energy from the universe, from above, from below, from the divine in its many forms. And one of my favorite things about this card is how it speaks to the most incredible magic that can happen. The magic within. He is the cauldron, he is the wand, he is the fire and the water, he is the alchemy, and the magic goes through him, and then he shows you with actually his other wand, the really important one, the finger wand, the one that is attached to your body. And he shows you what he can do. So what I tell all my friends and coven mates and temple mates and students is, forget standing on the superhero stand. You want power, you want magic, you want the alchemy to run through you? Stand like the magician. Hold your right hand up and pull the energy from the heavens, from the earth, from the energies of the sky and the moon and the elements, and let that magic go through your body and then point down at the earth, and let the magic within surprise you, because what you can create is limitless. Thank you.
So true. Well, here is another wand. And this wand comes from France, the Provence. I got it at a lavender festival. Yes, these are lavender stalks with lavender flowers, and it's an example of an herbal wand. And herbal wands are fun to craft. You can get really fancy like this, and you also can have it be pretty simple. Every year at our Pagan Spirit Gathering, which is a week-long summer solstice celebration, we took it online this year. I do a summer solstice morning ritual. And one of the herbs connected with summer solstice and the moon is mugwort. And I pass out mugwort stalks that people can use as a wand. And some of the stalks we put into the fire as a way of honoring the sacred fire, but we also have wands that we can make from the stalk. So get a dried one, a strong one, and you can actually, with this kind of herbal wand, you can make it any length. Now this is a really long wand. Some people prefer to have wands that they use be from the middle finger down to the elbow. Obviously, this is much longer. Why? Well, I'm vertically challenged, short, and when I'm with large groups of people, which happened at Pagan Spirit Gathering before the pandemic, we had a large group this year, but it was socially distanced via cyberspace. So I have a wand that I can hold up above a group of hundreds of people, and they can see what's going on with the wand. So wands can also be used as a theatrical signaling tool at rituals. Well, my longtime friend and longtime associate of Circle Sanctuary, Larry, is with us, and he has a wand that he will show and tell about. Welcome, Larry.
Hello. Trying to get the video here. Highly effective wands for specific purposes. Okay, I'm not sure if I'm getting through. In any event, highly effective wands for specific purposes can be made by selecting combinations of herbs, stones, and materials appropriate for its purpose, contacting their spirits and obtaining their participation, in addition to working with your usual allies. This herbal wand of blessing, purification, power, and protection was created using a combination of 13 herbs and stones in a similar process to those Selena recently demonstrated making an herbal witch bottle, along with an Estes wax paper rocket body tube instead of a jar, and an end cap with a internal magically charged reflector and a focusing crystal. It was created at an outdoor power spot by personal purification, connecting with friendly nearby nature spirits and explaining its purpose, inviting those interested to join in the working along with the spirits of the chosen herbs and the elementals and spirit helpers and deities, and then inviting them into a magic circle, individually smudging each component of the wand with copal, connecting to its spirit and obtaining its cooperation before individually adding it to the wand. Then we charged the wand with a cone of power and finally smudged it with sage, which resonated with the wand and greatly increased its aura and power. The wand was amazingly effective at focusing purification, blessing, good vibes, and protection within and around the area where it was created. Later, it was also extremely effective at projecting energy that quickly purified, blessed, and protected other areas, such as my own apartment. And it was also good for casting a magic circle and for personal purification. It still is. However, when it was tested to bless, empower, and protect the transformative power of seeding, harvest, rest, and rebirth, it blocked that energy. Wands created for specific purposes may be counterproductive for other purposes. A wand made of bone and different herbs would be appropriate for Samhain. Note that this wax cardboard cylinder, while lightweight, is extremely delicate. Hollow bamboo or wood or other strong natural materials would be preferable. It's hard to find it hollow, deep enough. My experience with metal is it blocks the direct electromagnetic connection with the herb, so it's best to use something natural or at least non-conducting. I haven't tried plastic yet, but that's my presentation. If there's any questions.
Well, thank you, Larry. And yes, we have lots of different types of wands. And actually, I prefer natural materials too, but sometimes a plastic wand is just too cool to pass up. And the first wand that I saw in action was in the 1950s when I was a little kid and watched Pinocchio and the Blue Fairy, and also Wizard of Oz, that Glinda the Good had a 5-pointed star on her wand. So I got this many years ago. It's a kid's toy, but I love it. What are some other wands that I have? As you can tell, I love wands and lots of witchy wands. I have a small wand, which is really easy to carry around in my purse, and it has a little amethyst point. Now, this was given to me when I spoke in Michigan at a festival about 10 years ago or so. And what I like about it, it's small, portable, lightweight, and can fit in my purse. I got this wand. This was made in the UK in actual Glastonbury. It has a combination of metal around wood, and it's double pointed, just as Laura talked about the double pointed wand that the magician held. And I've used this in healing ceremonies, sending healing with the quartz point sometimes, and being able to absorb things that need to be dispelled with the amethyst. So there's lots of different kinds of wands that are possible for you. I'd like to bring on Dree, who does all sorts of magic with a wand.
Hello, full moon blessings, everyone. I wanted to share with you today my selenite and copper wand. I use this wand when I'm making moon oil. For those of you that don't know me, I use a lot of oils. I work a lot of magic with aromatherapy, essential oils, and various things. And October 2020 has the 2 full moons, so this is gonna be a big old jar of moon oil to last me a while. So this oil will be set out and left out starting tonight until the next full moon. And every evening I'll uncover it and take my wand, actually put it into my oil and stir with a little chant. I'll show you that chant now. Full moonlight, blessings bright, clearer sight. Full moonlight, blessings bright, clearer sight. Full moonlight, blessings bright, clearer sight. So mote it be. And I'll continue, as I said, to do that every night until the next full moon. And as you can see, this has a copper end that will help my personal energy and intention conduct through and transfer through the actual selenite crystal into my oil and kind of help my personal essence be a part of it as well. Particularly since I'll be doing some scrying, and I really rely on my ancestors to help me with that type of work. So thank you for letting me share.
Thank you, Dree. And one of the things I'd like to invite you to consider, wands can be things that might not necessarily look like the classic witch wand. I have an example of this. This is actually made of compressed peat. It is a Bridget's cross from Ireland, and I was gifted with this many years ago. And while typically a Bridget wand, a Bridget cross, is put above a door, it's used in home blessing, as part of my work with Bridget, and that's one of the sacred forms that I'm aligned with, I've used the Bridget cross for healing work. But something may not really even be classified as a wand by most people. They might consider it a kitchen utensil. But when I get a chance to make a really big batch of herbal tea, a way to get the potion in motion is to have a really big wooden spoon. And prior to pandemic, when I did herbal tea classes, everyone would have a chance to put their hands on this spoon and stir it around, and sometimes we could all get our hands onto a wooden spoon together. So yes, that's another example of a wand. Many of you have seen me when I do some of my Facebook Live, some Instagram TV, some YouTube. This rhythm instrument, which is a sistrum, and this is kind of the folk version of it. If you look at the beautiful artwork in ancient Egyptian temples, you'll know that sistrum forms often have a loop and multiple rods with the little clickers like this. But this is not only to be used as a rhythm instrument, but when I do hand fastings, I put the rings on each point, and this forked wand is used for blessing rings and hand fasting rites. There's actually a name of a forked wand that I came across about 40 years ago in a book that's probably out of print now, came from England, which called the forked wand as a witch tool the Keppen rod. And in the early days of Circle, we actually created some Keppen rods as part of the way of doing some fundraising for our nonprofit religious organization, i.e. church. So you can have a wand do multiple duties. Wow, I invite the roaming gnome, who also is a longtime Circle Sanctuary bard, to give us a show and tell with the wand that he has that he uses to make musical magic with.
So yes, thank you, Selena. So my wand is not your typical witchy wand. It is a. Am I coming through? Making sure. I use my flute. I can cast a circle without even spinning around because, as we all know, sound is like dropping a pebble in a pond. It creates a circle that goes out from all points. So that's what I do with my my flute wand. So I'm going to play you a little something and show you a little bit of flute magic. So. So that's flute magic. I have one other wand that I use quite regularly, and that is something that we all use. It's a pen. I write things. I write words and poems, etc., etc. And not to get too crazy, but in a little over a month's time, use your pen. That's all I got.
Thank you. And there are other items that are wands. We've got the fire lighting wand, and this is going into Samhain after all. And I had to show you my mullein wand. Mullein is ripe for harvesting up in these parts. It's a biennial herb, which means in the first year it gets a rosette of fuzzy leaves, very beautiful. The second year it shoots up a huge stalk, and you can work with that stalk, take off the leaves and extra branches, and you have a wand that is good for all sorts of magic. You can actually dip this in wax and kindle it and use it as a kind of torch or candle, and you can use it to light a bonfire with. As you can tell, there's all sorts of wands to be had. Sometimes wands may just come to you. This is an example of a wand that had a vine growing around it. So it is a twisted wand. And I use this when I need to get some flexibility in my life. There are many ways of doing wand magic, and one of the things that I'm going to invite you all to do is join me in a new chant for tonight. And I also have a selenite wand with a name like Selena. You'd think that I should have something from the same name that comes from the goddess of the moon in ancient Greece, Selena or Selene, and selenite is one of those names. So I invite you, if you have a wand, to have that present as we do a chant together. I'm going to invite everybody who's with us to be muted for a few moments, and then we're going to try the magic of unmuting ourselves and waving our wands around in gallery view as we do this chant together. So I'm going to do it a few times, so those of you who are joining us from wherever you are can learn the chant. Witch Wands Full Moon Circle. That's the name of the circle tonight. Witch Wands Full Moon Night. Yes, we're doing it in the evening. Witch Wands Making Magic. Yeah, that's what wands are for. Witch Wands Full Moon Right. So we're going to put them all together. I'm going to speak it a few times, and then I'm going to add a melody. So if you want to sing it, you'll have a chance to do it. And then we're going to go to gallery view and have lots of fun with this to raise some energy, because we're going in to the final part of our circle tonight, which is the spiritual workings, the magic making. We've been making magic all night, but we'll be doing some specific workings. Witch Wands Full Moon Circle. Witch Wands Full Moon Night. Witch Wands Making Magic. Witch Wands Full Moon Right. Witch Wands Full Moon Circle. Witch Wands Full Moon Night. Witch Wands Making Magic. Witch Wands Full Moon Right. Witch Wands Full Moon Circle. Witch Wands Full Moon Night. Witch Wands Making Magic. Witch Wands Full Moon Right. Witch Wands Full Moon Circle. Witch Wands Full Moon Night. Witch Wands Making Magic. Witch Wands Full Moon Right. Witch Wands Full Moon Circle. Witch Wands Full Moon Night. Witch Wands Making Magic. Witch Wands Full Moon Right. Witch Wands Full Moon Circle. Witch Wands Full Moon Night. Witch Wands Making Magic. Witch Woo! Witch Wands. Woo! Many blessings. Witch Wands Full Moon Circle. Witch Wands Full Moon Night. Witch Wands Full Moon Magic. Witch Wands Full Moon Night. So I invite you all now to work with your wand to do a working for self and home. And we're all going to mute ourselves so that Judith can come forth and share with us a chant that we can use with our wands to do blessings for ourselves and our homes. Welcome, Judith.
Thank you so much, Selena. Good to be with you on this full moon night. This is a song called Behold by Abby Spinner McBride. And I have rearranged the verses so that they're in the circle's tradition of calling in the earth first. Behold, there is magic all around us. Behold, there is magic all around us. Behold, there is magic all around us. Awaken, rejoice, and sing. I am the earth all around you. I am the heartbeat within you. I am the source of life below you. I am all that I am. Behold, there is magic all around us. Behold, magic all around us. Behold, there is magic all around us. Awaken, rejoice, and sing. I am the air all around you. I am the breath of life within you. I am the wind blowing through you. I am all that I am. Behold, there is magic all around us. Behold, there is magic all around us. Behold, there is magic all around us. Awaken, rejoice, and sing. I am the fire all around you. I am the spark of life within you. I am the flame burning through you. I am all that I am. Behold, there is magic all around us. Behold, there is magic all around us. Behold, there is magic all around us. Awaken, rejoice, and sing. I am the water all around you. I am the pulse of life within you. I am the ocean flowing through you. I am all that I am. Behold, there is magic all around us. Behold, there is magic all around us. Behold, there is magic all around us. Awaken, rejoice, and sing. I am spirit all around you. I am divinity within you. I am the light shining through you. I am all that I am. Behold, there is magic all around us. Behold, there is magic all around us. Behold, there is magic all around us. Awaken, rejoice, and sing.
Many blessings. Thank you, Judith. And we move from healing work for ourselves and our homes to a time that we can focus our awareness, our intentions, and yes, our wands to direct healing to those in need. And we have Steve, who is another bard connected with us, who has music to guide us in our healing work for others. Welcome, Steve.
Greetings all. This is actually a traditional Celtic song, so nobody really knows who wrote it. Can you hear me okay? Yes, good. And it's called Harvest Home.
Thank you. May all be well. May all be well. Well, those of us who live in the United States know that we have a variety of opportunities to think through ways of moving our country into healthier directions. There is an election coming up in about a month, and I am not here to tell you who to vote for, but I do encourage you to register to vote, find the safest way to vote, look at your choices, and then make those choices and to vote and to encourage other people to do so. I thought it would be good, since there has been so much process in the media and personal conversations and on social media about voting and the election and all of that. It seemed like a really good time to call forth what I call the American goddesses. Why are they American goddesses? They actually have their roots in ancient pagan Greece and Rome, but they become symbols for concepts in our country. And so in the next few moments, I invite you to join with me in calling forth 3 goddesses to watch over and to bless America. Goddesses, bless America. We call on Lady Justice. Justicia is her name. We call on her to watch over us, to bring about greater justice for all, to have fairness in our society, to watch over our elections process and in our lawmaking and our process of choosing and electing lawmakers. Lady Justice, come to us. 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 Be with us, guide us, aid us in the USA now and in the times to come. So be it. Now another goddess that is connected with our country, and if you go to Washington, D.C., and you go up on Capitol Hill, besides the Capitol, you will see the Library of Congress. And there is a goddess who is clearly depicted there in a variety of different forms, including a multi-story mosaic. Now, one of her names is Athena in ancient Greece, and in old Rome, she was Minerva. She is the goddess of wisdom. Goddess of wisdom, come to us. Goddess of wisdom, come to us. Goddess of wisdom, come to us. Be with us, guide us, bring us wisdom in our choices, in our voting, in our ways of being, now and in times to come. So be it. Well, the third goddess, no surprise, Lady Liberty, also known as Libertas. Lady Liberty League is the civil rights and religious freedom branch of Circle Sanctuary. We work for equal rights for pagans of many paths, and we do public education, and we work on helping people that have not been treated right by the system. Now, Lady Liberty has many forms. There is one right on top of the US Capitol. She is known as the Statue of Freedom, but essentially she's a form of libertas. Most people know her in this form, the Statue of Liberty, which has a crown and a diadem, has her holding a torch of enlightenment and freedom. And I invite us all to call to her by her ancient Roman name. In fact, I have what I call my biggest Lady Liberty image, who continues to be decked out because Lady Liberty League is celebrating its 35th anniversary this Samhain. And she's wearing a pinnacle around her neck, which I took with me to Pinnacle Quest events when we were working for the rights of those who have served in the US military to get a pinnacle on their grave markers after they die. So I invite you to call on this goddess of freedom. Libertas, libertas, libertas. Well, libertas, be with us. Libertas, be with us. Libertas, be with us. Now and in times to come. So be it, libertas. Time to hydrate. So, what other workings are we going to do before we call it a night tonight? Those of you who've been part of full moon circles know that we do planetary healing. And I invite Chris the Gnome to get his flute wand. And as he's getting ready, I hold up an image of planet Earth. Many of you have seen wildfires happening out in the West, not only on the news, but some of you have had to deal with directly. There have been floods. There have been intense hurricanes. We've had so many hurricanes on the East Coast. We've even gone into the Greek alphabet, which we haven't done for like 15 years or so. So as I hold this image of Mother Earth up, I invite you to hold this image in your mind as we connect with healing for the planet. So I will mute myself so that you can focus on the magic of the flute for planetary healing. Planet Earth, be well. Planet Earth, be well. Planet Earth, be well. Planet Earth, be well. And as part of that wellness wish that we make on this full moon night, may the pandemic be dispelled. May humankind find good practices to keep others safe and themselves safe. May we all work together for a healthier, more sustainable planet and web of life. So be it. So in our conclusion of our spiritual workings, I invite you to call to mind the blue moon that will be happening on October 31st. And while we won't be doing a separate full moon circle that night because Circle Sanctuary has its Samhain celebration at that time, and we have magic all woven into that of Samhain, Days of the Dead, and Halloween, All Saints and All Souls Day. It's a very powerful time. I invite Shar, a Circle Sanctuary Eco Chaplain, to guide us in a chant that we often sing at Samhain time. Welcome, Shar.
Welcome, everybody. I'm so happy to see you. You can see my little wand back here is actually a staff that's an extended wand. And I use it in October a lot when I'm discerning from with my ancestors. It has smoky topaz in a raven's claw, which represents sight. And it's round to absorb all the diffuse ancestral messages I might get and then directs it. So as a Samhain remembrance, I want to invite you as we move into this chant to think over the next lunar cycle, who are the ancestors that are speaking to you between tonight and Samhain full moon? And what's the legacy that you're inheriting? What's the legacy that you're sharing? And how is that cyclical? Because we all know there's no end to the circle, no end. So I'm going to invite us to do this chant together. It's from Reclaiming. It's called There's No End to the Circle, No End. It's often done as a big choral piece. It's got a lot of harmonies and drumming. We don't have the capability to do that right here, right now. So I've created a call and response format. You can unmute yourselves if you want to the whole time, or you can choose just to unmute yourself when you do the refrain. It depends on how quick on the draw you feel you are, you know. So I'm going to teach everyone the refrain here real quick, the way we're going to do it. And hopefully the tambourine isn't too loud, but each time we do it, we'll do it 2 times through, and it goes, there is no end to the circle, no end. There is no end to life, there is no end. Can we say that together? There is no end to the circle, no end. There is no end to life, there is no end. We're going to put it together with 2 times through that, each refrain, and it'll go, there is no end to the circle, no end. There is no end to life, there is no end. And again, there is no end to the circle, no end. There is no end to life, there is no end. That's how the refrain goes. I'm going to start with that. I will call about 5 different verses, and in between, we will do the refrain together, just like we did right there. So if you feel brave and you want to unmute, join me, and I invite us to kick off a month of thinking about our ancestors and the legacy that we want to bestow upon future life as we participate in the circle of life. All right, ready? There is no end to the circle, no end. There is no end to life, there is no end. There is no end to the circle, no end. There is no end to life, there is no end. For I am the power to begin.
I dream and bring to birth what's never been. For you can see me in your eyes when they are mirrored by a friend. There is no end to circle, no end. There is no end to life, there is no end. There is no end to circle, no end. There is no end to life, there is no end. For I am the power to sustain. I am the ripened fruit and growing grain. There is no end to my abundance, no end. There's no end to life, there is no end. There is no end to the circle, no end. There is no end to life, there is no end. There is no end to the circle, no end. There is no end to life, there is no end. And I am the power to end. I am the crone who cuts the life web that I spin. All things that are born must die again. There is no end to the circle, no end. There is no end to the circle, no end.
There is no
end to life, there is no end. Circle, no end. There is no end to life, there is no end. And you can feel me in your heart when it beats with the heart of a friend. For all proceeds from me and returns, and all that returns to me comes forth again. There is no end to the circle. There is no end to life, there is no end. There is no end to the circle, no end. There is no end to life, there is no end. I am the honey taste of passion's heat, the fear running through your heart's beat. I am dancing now through your lightened feet, desire so fierce and yet so sweet. There is no end. No end. There is no end. There is no end. There is no end. To the circle, no end. There is no end. To life, there is no end. There is no end to life. So motivating. So motivating.
What a wonderful way to conclude our workings. And those of you who have been part of our full moon circles in the past know that we conclude with Thanksgiving. I give thanks to all of you who have been here live and those who have joined us through the miracles of cyberspace and time release and joining us later. I give thanks to the divine as one and as many, as Great Mother, Great Father, Great Spirit, as ancestors, ancient ones, as the elements, as the north, the east, the south, the west, above, below, the center, and around. We give thanks. We give thanks. And we give thanks to the full moon. And we give thanks to each other. And as we hold our candles high, we carry with us from this circle our shared connections with each other here in this Zoom, here with that larger circle of participants that are joining us in cyberspace. May we all carry with us love, peace, wisdom, justice, freedom, community connections, healing and well-being, inspiration, and the ability to connect not only here in cyberspace and socially distant face-to-face, but our connections in inner space now and in times to come. The circle is within us. The circle is around us. The circle is within us. The circle is around us. The circle is within us. The circle is around us. And though it's time for this circle to be open, it's never broken. Merry meet and merry part, and merry meet again, and may the ancient ones, the divine, preserve the craft. So mote it be. And now as we go to gallery view and all unmute ourselves, we get our wands out and get to celebrate our wonderful full moon evening with each other. So we all unmute, we all are here celebrating our time together. Yay! Many blessings, many blessings, many blessings, and many thanks to our presenters and musicians and speakers. Many thanks. So be it. And as we conclude our recording, we let this go into the cloud and hopefully at the Circle Sanctuary YouTube channel. So as we wrap up the recording,